So again, welcome to my spiritual walk, minding my motherfucking business, the spiritual basics on Anchor and Spotify. Welcome to the podcast. Now we got the homies with us. We got visuals by Jay. We got Vibe Depth here with us. And we just going What About It Wednesday? Because this is the second segment of What About It Wednesday. And I'm gonna be flat out. It's Woman's Her Story Month. So if you don't know, now you know. It's Woman's Her Story Month, and we here doing a podcast because we fucking can. And it's our spiritual journey and our walk. And we're gonna talk our stuff. And if you don't like the fruit, we appreciate you sharing it anyway. Let us know how you feel. Maybe not. I don't care. But whatever. So it's that kind of Wednesday. I'm with the shit Wednesday. I don't know what it is about this Wednesday. I'm just with it. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of getting pushed over, spat on, kicked out. I'm with the shit Wednesday.
I like that with the shit Wednesdays.
I'm with the shit Wednesdays, yeah. Because it's like life. Listen, man, I was minding my motherfucking business on my spiritual walk, and what the hell? Like, what happened, bro? What happened? I was minding my motherfucking business on my spiritual walk. What happened? So, yeah. We started the Travel Goddess Masterclass yesterday. It is the new moon today. And with all this new moon, again, I'm with the shit. Like, I'm all about it. Like, all right, you coming over here, you trying to fuck me with no lube, I'm willing to cut off all of your parts. I'm willing to just chop them off. You don't even need them no more. I'm willing to do that. Because I feel like we've been fucked with no lube enough, and I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. It's Woman's Her Story Month. So I invite you all to go ahead and jump on in where we at with it. Because I'm with the shit. It's What About It Wednesday, and I'm with the shit. I feel like we need to have these questions answered.
I got question.
It's a new moon. It's a new 2022. There's so many things that are in EW around this bitch. Just so new. And everybody want to act like they know what they doing, and they don't. Instead of being honest about how you don't know how to navigate this plane, how you truly don't know what the fuck is up and what is down. You want to make some shit up and blow some shit up and start a whole ass wars and make my gas go up. I'm with the shit.
They use that as an excuse to not fucking pay off our student loans, or at least give us some kind of a break for student loans. So we ain't gonna go there, because you know that's gonna be the next excuse. I mean, well, we was going to pay them, right? But then the gas got cut off, so you know what I'm saying. We had to. Like, all right.
I got question.
All right. I feel it.
Because I'm with the shit with it. Because I feel like we as minority women, first of all, I want to be clear. Everybody on this call is a minority woman and is a business owner and has worked for 10 plus years of their life. So we are women who have gone through several different walks of life and are in several different walks of life at the same time. So we're not talking from a perspective of we think we know we might have it. We're talking from a perspective of we are doing exactly what needs to be done. The process is so slow that it's crazily funny that people get ahead as fast as they do.
Lord, and then let me shut up. All right,
no, go ahead. That's what
because what pisses me off, and all right. So, all right, y'all. This is Jay. Visuals by Jay and a whole bunch of other handles that I don't fucking use. So that's my relatability, is I don't fucking use the shit, but I'm here, right? In any case, I was going to go off on I had a whole ass plan to go off on a tangent about the fact that I had to tell my boss again today, like, look, I got a problem. And I even said, like, it's not fair, at the fact that I've been proving my worth at this place since I walked in the door. And y'all gonna sit there and tell me that no, 3 years later, your increase and your this is tied to a committee that we've tried to do since before you were here and couldn't pull together. But if you pull off the insurmountable, you get a new car. And I'm like, are you shitting me right now? So you
Right.
want to have me a rusty spork and a short set and say, I'm going to need you to climb Mount Everest?
That's
Okay.
not gonna
All
work.
right then. Like that shit pissed me all the way off. And to see people coming in and they getting raises and fucking, promotions. If anybody watched Harvey Birdman, that shit pissed me off. And I'm like, yo, and then I even offered my services like, yo, I can do this to help this department help keep us in regulatory compliance. Well, no, I mean, why are you spending time doing this and whatever? Why would you even want to? I'm like, don't question what I do with my time. My thing is, why would anybody want to do 8 hours doing job A and then start and put in 6 hours of job B? Why? Because they need money and they're willing to get pimped out. And I would rather have a secure paycheck, as opposed to trying to get sales and do marketing and whatever and spend money on resin and all this other shit for products that might sit for 5 months before somebody decides to buy it. Okay. Like, I'm trying to get guaranteed revenue. And I was fitting a rant about that, but then unfortunately something happened. A murder happened like 50 feet from my house. So now my front lawn is an active crime scene. So I'm sitting here with the lights down low. Turn the lights down low with the goddamn ice pack. Look, with an ice pack. That's what I'm saying. Like with an ice pack on my head that's wrapped up in the shrug that's tied around my head. Cause now the stress migraine done hit and the shit's in the middle of my forehead. This is just so with the shit Wednesdays. Oh, it's been with the shits. And I'm just like, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that. I just need to get this shit off my chest. I'm sorry.
I don't think it matters.
I don't even know.
It don't even fucking matter because that's exactly where we at with it, right?
Like my front lawn is a crime scene. Like before we went live, detectives knocked on my back door to get a statement. Like y'all, like it's really real, and I'm even reeling at the fact of a black man's life being snuffed out, and how that hurts. And this wasn't my can, and I'm not even going to sit here in front and act like this was whatever. But hearing my neighbors wailing in grief, and just knowing that this is a young man who had potential, who whose life matters, but to everybody else it's just another hashtag, another t-shirt, another corpse, and that's not what it is. And just to see that, it hurts, like it hits. And I'm just, so there's just a whole lot, like I'm
understood.
Like I don't even I'm trying to process, so I'm trying to find my middle ground, fam.
But you are processing,
and just saying, instead of saying I'm angry, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I'm sad, I'm disenchanted, I'm frustrated, I'm hungry. Actually, I'm about to start bordering hangry.
Listen,
you know what I mean? So
like I just take down one of these zingers,
Look, right? So I'm like, all right, so how are we gonna process this? First, sis need food, and since the whole block
so start with that then.
No, but the block is tied off, so I can't get goddamn Uber. So I gotta figure out what the fuck is going. What am I gonna eat in my house?
I already told you. We gonna have a whole ass conversation about y'all gonna have to pass my shit down. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't
know what to tell you. I'm ordering my shit to my house, and when they call me and say they at the edge of the block, I'm gonna tell them to ask Detective so and so to walk my shit up to the door.
And I'm not trying to make light of the situation.
I mean, either, but let's be honest. This is what we
tragic. Like.
But you also can't deny yourself the things in which you need to have to survive as well, or desire. And I'm not saying it's not tragic for a life to be lost, but let's be honest, that life would probably desire a pizza too. Like, I hate to be facetious, but a circumstance that I couldn't control happened on my block, so I'm supposed to suffer.
Right.
I feel like that's a societal push at a narrative that don't belong to me.
All right, I can see that.
I think at the same time, though, because everything is vibration, there's a lot going on that block. And so the fact that
Oh,
you're feeling it just makes
damn.
you human.
And as an empath, y'all know I'm hit. It's hit. Like this is hitting hard. And with this being a new moon, I'm glad it ain't the full moon. Cause oh my dear. But like being an empath, and like I said, I'm hearing my neighbors well, and I'm, and just looking and seeing this young man's body laying there, like, and I've taken, and I know law enforcement and what they're trying to do, and they're trying to put the pieces together, and they're trying to do their jobs, and I understand, but to the folks that are around who this was their relative, this was their friend,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yo, he's
And it's unfortunate.
it's not a slab of meat. This is a human being. Like,
I
get
say
him up
it's
off.
unfortunate though.
It's
It's unfortunate because there's so many of us who live in so many different places who are okay with seeing those things.
yeah, and
Like
that's what
real talk,
and
we
I
were
was saying
talking
that.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, folks are like that's their normal. Like, oh, okay, this is just all right. It happened, and that's another thing that got me concerned because I'm like, yo, it ain't even hot outside yet, man.
But this is my other issue, right? Can you imagine the other countries that don't have paved streets and people are getting drug out of their houses and this is just happening?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think about the cartels and stuff, and you cross the wrong person or going the wrong, your shit's up on your head is on a pike on the side of the road, and we're looking at folks that grow up with mortar fire. You know
Right
what I
now.
mean?
Right
And
now,
yeah,
there are
you're looking at the
people.
Ukraine, but no, I'm not even talking about the Ukraine. I'm talking about countries that have been under siege for decades,
Exactly.
and you have
Right now.
generations, you know what I'm saying, that mortar fire,
Wait a
all right,
minute.
you hear the horn, you know
Hold
what to
on.
do, like
As women
that's
of color,
crazy.
as
What you
women of
saying,
color,
Bob?
we really, I said, as women of color, are we really talking about other people being under siege? Are we
Absolutely
not
not.
under siege right now?
Oh, we
Absolutely
are.
not.
No, we are. No. What I'm no. We are under siege. We have trafficking. You have a whole bunch of stuff. But what I'm saying is that being in the country that we are in, we have not experienced all out, full on, bona fide martial law. We have not experienced seeing tanks riding up the street. Folks, you have to present your papers, the military shooting your ass down. And I'm not talking about renegade cops. I'm talking about military, mortar
Facts.
fire, bombings, and all that. We think we
Hold on.
buck,
Not
but
our,
we ain't built for that. We are one of the youngest civilizations on this planet.
wait
We
a
just
minute.
so happen to have been born with a silver spoon in our mouth.
No, the silver
Facts.
Okay,
spoon is
but
not
but
silver.
we
And
ain't ready.
also, we,
We're not ready for bona fide guerrilla warfare. We ain't.
hold on.
We You
Although
see what I'm saying?
our generation has not,
What you
and
mean our
maybe,
generation? No generations have.
hold on. No brown people on American soil have been bombed from the air.
Okay, so we ain't say that part. We
I
talking
didn't
about
say
the
that
fact of
part.
being able to
I
fight
didn't
back.
say that part. And what I'm not okay. Here's my thing. What I'm saying is that what other people are facing, the people that were fighting over in Ghana, blood diamond stuff, what's going on in the Ukraine, okay, police brutality and all that stuff. I'm not saying it's not terrible. What I'm saying is it's a different type of warfare that we aren't used to.
Yeah.
That you have entire societies that is what they've been used to and subjected to for
And
generations.
I agree
That's
with that
all I'm
point. It
saying.
is a different type of
It's a
warfare because
different
our
type of
warfare is
warfare.
a lot more
It's
psychological and
psychological.
modernized.
Exactly.
And I agree
It's
with
not
the fact
guerrilla.
that women are under siege right now.
Oh, we
And what
are.
Bob is saying is like, yo, right now we're being attacked from the inside out, and you're right.
Indeed.
But
Indeed.
the point that Jay is making is exactly that. Like, this shit just happened outside my house, and they then locked me in my house with no food. Like, real shit. Right now, yeah, I'm under siege as a woman. So, because of a process that I didn't even necessarily agree to, nor did I have a hand in, I'm victimized by. So I see exactly where both sides are coming in on. Does that
Well,
make sense?
I want to say that I'm not like Jay. I'm not attempting to cut off. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. I am not attempting to cut off your story. I'm saying alongside it, although we have not experienced that in this generation or our parents' generation, our grandparents went through these kinds of things of people people coming through, stealing their children, making them pick cotton. Like
my grandfather, he backwoods Alabama. My you know, and God rest his soul, he's not with us any longer. But he saw the Klan, like not the Indiana version of the Klan, the Deep South version of the Klan rolling through. You know what I'm saying? Living in sundown towns where if you a color and your ass is out when the sun goes down, your life is forfeit.
Listen, they had a whole show. The underground. No, not the underground. Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah,
that touches on that. Mm-hmm. On HBO.
And they're still to this day or sundown towns.
Absolutely.
You know, in the Deep South.
Absolutely there is. And that's exactly why we got to be with the shit on Wednesday. Like, real talk, I understand the pain, but that's where the spiritual walk comes in too. It's not always about that physical fight back that causes 10 times the ramifications that's worth it. If that makes sense on how I said it. Like, real talk, I could throw one punch and end up with 10 more coming in my direction. And although I may feel like a whole ass superhero for that one punch, it's not worth the 10 more coming in my direction. But there is a way to fight that battle spiritually that some of us have started to practice in. And the more that we're held accountable to ourselves on how we feel, the better we can practice it. And the more substantial we can get as far as reaching and start to eradicate some of these issues, maybe in our own lives first and teach other people later, or at the same time. It really depends on the collective we happen to be around. Because you can't save a motherfucker that don't want to be saved. You can say all women are under siege, but not all these women understand they already got wings.
That's true.
Sometimes you try and save somebody who's drowning, and they get mad that you didn't let them drown.
Look, didn't we already talk about Princess Peach and why this chick that it came out with a whole generation and a half of games, and this chick was caught the castle, and we get to the we finished the slide scroller stage with no save points, and this bitch was in another castle, and it's like when you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm going to turn off the Nintendo, I'm gonna play Sonic because
but that's what my point is.
Going after this hoe.
But that's exactly where my point is, and pass my food down. Like, listen, yo, you might think that shit is rude, but that's exactly where my point is, and pass my food down. Like, my nigga, why should I have to suffer for some shit that is situational? I happen to live in the house that happened to be next to the house that the shit that happened to happen in. I ain't orchestrating none of that. I wasn't fucking around. Explain to me why a bitch can't get a pizza.
I feel it. Yeah.
Because that's what's going to make me feel a little bit better about this plan that I'm enacting to take over the world just a little bit more so I can get the fuck away from y'all doing this dumb shit.
Oh my God.
Because I'm not going to be rude, but ain't none of them got your self-worth or self-investment in their
minds. Yeah, no, I overstand.
But here we are as the minority woman, always the first to, let's be considerate of the people around us. No, fuck that. Bring me a sandwich or you ain't getting a bandage. How about that?
And you know what? Come to think of it, and bringing it full circle to the woman's history, you know, the Black woman has been tasked with bearing so much, and that's in no way, shape, form, or fashion discrediting what our Black men have dealt with, because our Black men have the only thing that saved us in a sense was our vaginas. Okay?
Not even that.
I said in a sense. Now I didn't say I said in a sense, so it depends on your perspective. Now, in a sense. But the Black man has physically been under siege and physically been removed from our homes. We were allowed to still stay as long as we spread from when it said we need to spread. Okay. Now the tide has shifted to where there has been a concentrated attempt to further separate the Black family, where if a young Black woman, or if a Black woman is with a gentleman who's caught up in the life, they go after her too. So now the babies is put in the system, which leaves which leaves our babies subject to the exploitation and the
Abuse.
and abuse, because
It's flat out systematic abuse.
my thing is this, I know that there are concentrated efforts. I want to say it was in the Midwest. I read an article that there are at least, there's like tens of thousands of children in their adoption system that go missing and don't nobody give a damn. I think those children personally were sent off for child exploitation, child sex, pornography, and child slavery. I really
Absolutely.
do. I really do. And because they are primarily children of color,
ain't nobody worried about it.
Don't nobody care. And even
no, they cared. There's a bunch of people who cared. There's a bunch of people who've done fundraisers. There's a bunch of people who really, really, really wanted to do something. But
so I signed this petition.
You know what happened? They don't have the resources. It had nothing to do with their wanting to. You see what I'm saying? It's not that we don't care. It's the fact that we're disenfranchised with resources. So one of our kids go missing in the community.
Yeah, how do you go up against, like,
we don't have access to bloodhounds.
Right, and here's my thing. I've read an article where there was a child sex ring that was busted, and the majority of the people were like provosts at like high universities and shit. So you have people that are very high up, very well established.
On the news today, there was a dude that Dropbox reported for having things in folders who happened to have been, unfortunately, an official of higher ranking authority.
Look, I saw something that a PA state
that's exactly what we're talking about.
PA state trooper.
So we try to steer clear. We want to steer clear of any allegations, but with the news reported was exactly that. Dropbox snitched him out. So all I'm saying is there was allegations with Wayfair. There's Pennsylvania itself, which a lot of people may not know, has the highest reported cases of missing children that are brown. How about that? And they're like, why don't you let your little person do the
No.
Because if you work for who I work for, if you researched it, not only are you killing us at a rate of 1 to 4, and not only are you doing that, and that's our children and our mothers
in a developed country to boot. Why am I hearing about mothers dying in childbirth in America?
Fuck America. Let's talk about how are they doing it in like one of the most medical capitals of the world.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm like, and I'm gonna go American on America. Fuck yeah! You got people coming, from West India and all these other places to get their medical degrees and go back to their homelands to take what they've learned from our country. And you telling me that out of all the quote unquote developed nations of the world, we have one of the highest, if not the highest rate of mothers dying during childbirth, and it just so happens to be that those mothers are women of color. What in the Fraggle Rock is going on here?
It's because most of what America says about itself is a bold-faced lie.
Oh no, that's
goddamn completely narcissistic. Like the government, the laws and whatnot have a narcissistic relationship with their citizens, and particularly Black people, because we are oftentimes considered less than human. And if we bring it up, it's like, no, don't say that.
You're being abrasive.
No, but y'all remember the fact that this was a few years ago. We had to revisit the law and not allowing African Americans to vote, because at one point we were considered 3/4 of a man. Right?
For tax
And
purposes.
here's the thing. That what and so when that amendment was added to the Constitution, there was actually a time frame on that, and that time frame had actually expired. You feel me? And so instead of making the perp, you see what I'm saying? Like it's yeah.
Are you talking about the reinstatement of Jim Crow laws?
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. Reinstatement. All three of us have locks in our hair. Why? Why is it that individuals with locks in this country, the way our hair grows naturally out of our heads, is still legally aground? Yep. And the Supreme Court even deferred the decision back to the lower court because they didn't have the balls to set precedent to say that you cannot tell a person of the African diaspora that if they have locks, that it is not in violation of their fucking dress code protocols. The way our hair grows out of our heads naturally is fucking illegal. And it can be grounds for us losing our motherfucking livelihoods. Right. The government the military just now started to allow for African-American men and women, servicemen and servicewomen to be able to have locks. This was a recent development.
Yeah, it is. Very much so.
So
and they can still only be a certain length.
Exactly.
And width and thickness.
Exactly.
They haven't abolished slavery yet.
They haven't.
At all.
They haven't.
I mean, they let us get away with some shit. we keep going.
It's kind of like, well, what are y'all trying to keep it open for?
Just in case. Just in case,
right now, posturing because they don't want to seem like they as bad as Russia.
Facts, just in case.
Let's keep it real. Because unfortunately, and unfortunately, I know not every Russian is a subscriber to the perception that the world has of Russia, but the worldwide perception of Russia is not a great one.
Well, let me ask you this though. What's the touch on that? Do you think that when white people speak about black people, they have to give that kind of disclaimer?
Nope. Of course not.
I'm sure that not all black people are this way or that way.
Of course. Come on now.
We do it for safety purposes.
Yes, we do. That's the world that we live in. Of course. White people don't have to explain they're white and let a white person feel that they are being made to let a white person feel ashamed for being white. Oh, they get all up in arms.
Well, they do pass the law in Florida.
But meanwhile, black people and people of color, and not just black people, but people of color have to explain. You see what I'm saying? Because when you look at Timothy McVeigh, the Unabomber, you look at whatever, they are seen as lone wolves. Oh, they're just yeah. But let a black person flip out. Oh, but that's just how all them niggers are. You know what I mean? All niggers is like that. You know what I mean?
9/11. Everybody who looked like they were from the Middle East have that whole flavoring of the quote unquote raghead people who were going to do et cetera, et cetera.
They call them sand niggers.
Yeah, one of the reasons they don't want critical race theory taught is because then everyone will know how deep the rabbit hole really went.
Exactly.
Because we have this veneer of racism where it's like, oh, they had to work. And oh, it was hard, and they had their children, sold, and that was a different time. If they get into it,
don't see that shit just happened last year,
man,
and they ain't ready to face that.
They're really not, because a lot of the people who agreed to and went along with these things are still alive.
Complicit.
Grandma, granny, auntie,
complicit.
Nursing homes. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so if we are talking about what happened and when it happened and this, that, and the third, and because the most important part of this conversation that they don't want to have is that when we talk about racism or we talk about discrimination it's talked about as though it happened to us, but it came from nowhere.
Facts.
Like it was some natural state of being.
Yep.
We happened to be in the store, so the person had to follow us around the store.
Absolutely not.
My thing
Yeah,
is, if somebody follows me around the store, I'm going to hand them my shopper list, and I'll say, I'll meet you at aisle number 2. I check out count number 2. Let me know when you're ready with my items. Here's my card. I ain't got time to be fucking around with you. Because if you finna follow me, then I'll meet you at the checkout line. Get what the fuck I said. I said Bumblebee chicken snack pack. Why the fuck you bring a tuna over here, bitch? That pack is blue and white. I said red and white. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. And I've done it. Oh, hey, you following me around? Here you go. Here's my shopping list, miss. I'll meet you at the front. Oh,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Bitch, no, because you've been at the end of every aisle that I've been in this goddamn Dollar General in California, Pennsylvania. So guess what? Here's my shopping list, fam. Do it for me. And apparently you have volunteered. So now I'm gonna beat your ass at your own game.
Well, let's talk about it because.
And I'm gonna take your picture and put your ass up on social. So you gonna be my bitch for the next 15 minutes, or you not? But I'm still gonna put your ass up on social.
Well, let's talk about the economy not presently being strong enough to keep brown people out of stores like they used to. They can't really afford. This has been structured so that we wouldn't all go out on our own.
Of course.
But COVID has changed things to the degree.
Because, well, that's what happens when something existential to the entire population occurs. Because you can't just say it's the brown people tripping. Everybody tripping now.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're faced with an existential crisis, everybody now is looking at their own mortality.
Well,
it freaks everybody out.
Well, yeah, not just limited to brown people at this point. A lot of people are walking away from slavery.
Yeah.
I'm like, because they realize that what they're doing at their 9 to 5 is the intellectual stroll.
I mean, look, and my thing is the upper crust, okay, the 1%, they don't give a damn whether you black, white, or whatever. They give a damn whether you come from old money. And whether you white just like they white or whatever, just like they're whatever, okay, if you don't come from old money, you ain't worth it. And they gonna have a problem with you. Okay, so it don't matter because when you look at systemic racism, you know, in America, it's a different social experiment because you have different ethnicities at play. But when you look at homogenous societies, and I've said this before, racism is nothing more than a form of classism. Because when you look at homogenous societies, let's look at India, the caste system. Let's look at China. You have genocide against entire groups of minorities with regards to their subculture within overall Chinese society. Okay, so they can't say we just hate on the niggers over there. No, all of y'all share the same genomes for the most part. If you go to anywhere else in the world, y'all all look the same to everybody else. So what's the difference? So it's all about the upper class trying to keep the lower classes in check and in line for them to continue to generate revenue for the upper classes to continue to profit. That's all that's all it is. It don't matter whether
it's really this most simplistic. It's really the most simplistic motion of the human hierarchy that's ever been since it's been. Like real shit. Since humans decided that something was worth something, there's been a class system.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Oh, the priests are better than the whatevers, and the whatevers are better
as
than the whatevers.
As soon as humans said some shit was worth something, that's why people can get upset with me all you want, but it's whatever half-ass belief you following at the time. Because they all have baked, and they all have baked, like real shit. If you get to the end of, okay, so what do I do after here? Well, there's nothing in this book for that. Then it's half baked. So now I gotta come up with some other shit the same way y'all came up with this first half of this shit. Well, no, you supposed to go back and repeat these lessons. Oh, hell no. That's fucking stupid. So time out. Did you just tell me in order to live life, I'm supposed to keep repeating life?
Nope.
No.
Here we go. Well, what do you say? Pete and Repeat was on the boat. Pete jumped off. Who's left? Repeat. Pete and Repeat was on the boat.
Ain't
Pete
nobody got
jumped off.
time.
Who's left? Repeat. Fuck Pete and Repeat. And Pete
And
and Pete. And
yeah.
all them Pete's and Salute Your Shorts and all them other Nickelodeon shows. We ain't here for that.
At all.
And no disrespect to Nickelodeon, because I love me some Salute Your Shorts. I love Are You Afraid of Dark? But I'm just saying, for the sake of our argument,
I ain't even gonna get on the other side of the fact that I was a kid that only had cable maybe 2 months off the year.
No, wait, whoa. Wait. You acting like we ain't grow up in the household where we just had the basic shit at home and we went to the grandmama's house. And the grandparents was the ones that had the extended channels.
I gotta be honest with you, my grandma had none cable at all.
Okay,
She
I
had
understand.
no TV and we did Bible reading.
Now, wait. Now, let me tell you. I went to my grandmama's house and she was watching the front door of her apartment building. We sitting there watching the goddamn. We sitting there watching the lobby. I'm like, really, grandma?
Facts.
Watching the front door, the front motherfucking door. Washing the front.
When I worked in personal care, I remember those days. I ain't gonna act like I didn't.
Facts.
Man, but it do be funny as hell because people be wiping the fuck out walking in sliding doors. I'm like, there wasn't nothing there. How'd you wipe out? But we off topic. We off topic. Did I lose y'all? Everybody muted? How this
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go big.
I got a little person in the background, so when he get real vocal, I go ahead and mute it so he don't scream over y'all.
Yeah, I figured it. But I want to get ready to go ahead and bring this conversation to an end. So if y'all don't know, at the bottom of the screen, you can shop our Etsy shops, Etsy.com, Visuals by Jay, Etsy.com, Vibe Death, and always Etsy.com, Shade du Jour. You could definitely check us out there. Again, I got people calling me. All right, y'all. I'm out. All right, hold on. Let me stop the broadcast real quick. I will see y'all next time. Vibe, you got anything you want to say right quick?
I want to say if we could get past classism as a people, that's the evolution of the human species. Being able to see people as people again. This objectification, misogyny, misandry thing is killing people, literally, and it's so unnecessary. That see your neighbor as yourself thing, never thought it had any real value. Yeah, now I see that it does. Getting older.
All right, bye. Thank you. But I gotta go grab some stuff. I'm always hustling, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live, but we're gonna hang out in the studio.
Right? Treat people right because you're people too.
Facts.
Treat people right because you're people.